So, what are some of your favorite Detroit hip hop groups or acts or like musically?
Musically, man, wow. Of course, we gotta start off with Dilla. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
can
We
we end
can't.
there too? Can we start and end?
We got to. And then I have to
Wait,
shout out
before
my brother because okay, go ahead.
before you get to that, and I don't know if you're gonna recall this, but where was you? Where were you when you heard Dilla died?
Man,
Because I remember specifically, but we'll get into that in a second.
I was somewhere in Detroit. You know what I'm saying when I heard, man. And actually, one of his last. I went to the concert, one of his last performances at St. Andrews when he was in a wheelchair. I know he did this in a couple other places too, though. I just remember that, and just as soon as I heard the news, it just reflected me back. I was just like, dude, because I was kind of like, man, as Detroit, we was just like, this was every day for us. You know what I'm saying? So seeing him at St. Andrews, in a wheelchair, it didn't really like, you know, like we didn't know it was that serious. Like you find out after, all the stories, him being in the hospital, making his last things like that. But yeah, man, yeah, it's definitely in Detroit at the time.
I remember, so my same homeboy that I was telling you about, who, by the side note, when they brought Elzai into the group, he was hating. Now, all of a sudden, Elzai the best one ever, but it's okay, you know. But
Yeah.
I was coming from the gym because I was still in college. I was in college. I was coming from the gym and I was about to head home. And I remember he called me, and it was like late at night. And I was like, "What the hell?" And he was like, "Man, guess what? Dilla died." And I was like, "What?" And I had been, a lot of people came, in my opinion, a lot of people became Dilla fans after he died. That's when all the Dilla t-shirts came out and all this, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was a Dilla fan. But I had been rocking with him since the Fantastic Volume 2. You know what I'm saying? And, a lot of other people have been rocking with him since, I don't know, the day after he died or something. It seemed like, you know what I'm saying? But whatever.
No, like Slum Village was definitely putting in work during that time in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, before they got on. I saw like so many concerts with them, like up close concert in small rooms, you know what I'm saying? So I remember them where they were, we had a huge rave culture here, you know what I'm saying? I was shocked to see them there, it just is weird because you know, I don't think a lot of people know, but he did like some techno prior to SV.
Oh,
You know
wow.
what I'm saying? Yeah, and,
I
and
didn't
I
know
would
that.
I would love to. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's any release, but yeah, I heard that he had a little um thing with that first.
Right.
But yeah, we would see them, um, and it's just like you from Detroit, and you just didn't know until later, like, yo, this was a unique sound, and these guys were super, super special
Right.
until they got on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
we always enjoyed the music and stuff like that. So I was grateful to be around during that time and seeing it. My brother, if it wasn't for my brother, definitely, he was in a group called Third Kind at the time. It was another underground group. Man, they were so dope. You know what I'm saying? They got music online, Third Kind. And he had, actually, that's back when, groups had their own exclusive producer. So
Mm-hmm.
the producer for Third Kind, his name is Doc Seuss. And he actually learned underneath Dilla. You
Wow.
know what I'm saying? And I remember them talking, it was always like, Doc Seuss always kind of like talk about him as like almost like you know somebody to like aspire to like to be, what I'm saying, like to get better because this guy, what I'm saying. um and then we all know that Amp Fiddler taught Dilla the MP, you know what I'm saying. And it's kind of crazy because my brother is really good friends with um Amp, and I know Amp personally through my brother, man. It's so just so weird how these things go. But yeah,
Yeah, man, that 6 degrees of separation is real.
Crazy.
I don't have a Slum Village story as far as like ever seeing them in person, but I do have a Elzai story because he's actually been out to Phoenix a couple times, and one time he came to Tempe, which is just a suburb of Phoenix, and it was in a small spot, small venue, and I remember we was in there breaking, and then all of a sudden he played, I can't remember what the song was, but I knew it word for word, and he just put the mic in my face. He was like, I'm just gonna take a break, you go ahead and handle this, brother. And so like, so the ongoing joke within my crew, I'd be like, hey man, remember that time I performed with Elzai?
That's crazy, man. You know,
Yeah, man.
Elzai, you know, even him, you know, he was like back in the day, you know, he was like a solo act, you know what I'm saying? And, you
Mm,
know, he would definitely be, you know, sing with SV and all of them, and he would, you know, rock the mic. I just remember him, you know. And then when he got into the group, I was like, damn, I said, that's a good look, man. I was
I
like,
thought so
I didn't
too.
never, yeah, that was a real good look. But then it's like right now, man, it's almost like, man, it's like SV is kind of like the Temptations, where you know, like the group keeps growing, and you know, new members, you know, in the
Right.
group. But it's interesting. I mean,
Yeah, no doubt, man.